Hello class, good morning. How are you all? Class, today we are going to work out the assignment number 9 and the topic of this worksheet is subatomic particles. Let me revise you what we had studied about subatomic particles. The Dalton's atomic theory explained and introduced the particulate nature of matter, and he specified as atom is the tiniest and smallest particle that's making up the matter. And further, later on in the 19th century, few more researches were carried out, and they investigated and invented the further smaller particles present in the atom. These smallest particles are still composed of more particles which are making up a single atom. Suppose atom is defined as a sphere. So this atom is made up of protons, neutrons and electrons. And these particles are present in the atom and they are smaller than the atom. That's why they are called as subatomic particles. So let us begin with the name of God, the discussion of MCQs. The first MCQ is an element Y has a proton number 18. The proton number is the total information about the atom, about the element, about the structure, about its behavior, about the physical properties and about the chemical properties. So proton number 18 means its atomic number is 18. The next element in the periodic table is an element Z. So just see one thing should be observed by each of you, that when elements are placed in the periodic table, every element is placed on the basis of its atomic number or proton number. As we move in a periodic table, the atomic number increases by 1. So we have to remember this point. Now what is informed here, element Y has a proton number 18 and the next following element which is coming after Y is the element Z. Now the question part is which statement is correct. Element Z has one more electron in its outer shell than element Y. Okay, we can think of it. Perhaps it is going to happen because when one electron or one proton is added in the nucleus, the electron will also be added. B, element Z has one more electron shell than element Y. Okay. C, element Z is in the same group of the periodic table. It can't be true because the period remains the same. Then D is element Z is in the same period of the periodic table as element Y. So what do you think about it? Because in option A, number of electrons are discussed. Here again, number of electrons are discussed. But what about the same period? If two elements are coming one after another in the periodic table, they must be belonging to the same period of the periodic table. The next MCQ is the nucleon number and proton number of the lithium atom are shown by the symbol Li. 3 is its proton number and 7 is its nucleon number. What is the correct symbol for the lithium ion? Whenever lithium reacts, lithium loses a electron and gets a positive charge on it. When the electron is lost, the proton number remains the same and nucleon number remains the same. So these number 3 and 7 are not going to change, only the charge is coming on lithium 3, 7. So select the correct answer from the given options. MCQ number 3, the diagram shows part of the periodic table. Okay, 4 different positions are mentioned, A, B, C and D. Which element is correctly matched with its electronic structure? Now we have to see if we know the period number and group number of any element in the periodic table. We should predict its number of shells in the element, and how many electrons are present in its valence shell or outermost shell. So you see option A, it's going 2, 8, 1 means there must be 3 shells of electrons, but A is belonging to the very second period, so there must be 2 shells of electrons. For option B, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2 shells means the second period, and 4 means the 4 electrons in the outermost shell. So when we see the group number, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, it is not correct. Option C, 2, 8, 2. 2, 8, 2 means there must be 3 shells of electrons. So it must be belonging to third period. So what do you think about it? First period, second period, and third period. Yes, and 2 electrons in the first shell, 8 electrons in the second shell, and 2 electrons in the outermost shell means its group number be 2. So it seems very absolute to me. Now, but we have to look on the option D also, because we want the correct answer to be encircled. D is given 2, 8. 2, 8. So what do you think for it? When we talk of the electronic configuration of noble gases, what comes up? It is telling us that 2 electrons are in the first shell and 8 electrons are in the second shell. But when we see the period number of D, it is 1, 2, 3. It is in the third row. So there must be one more electronic shell should be written here. So according to my concepts, C goes the correct answer. MCQ number 4. Which numbers are added together to give the nucleon number of an ion? Nucleon number of an ion. When we talk about nucleon number, you must be very confident in selecting the answer that nucleon means the particles present in the nucleus, and they are neutrons and protons. The MCQ number 5. The electronic configuration of an ion is 2.A.8. What could be this ion? Okay, 2.A.8, and it is already present in the ionic state. S-2 sulfur has 6 electrons in its outermost shell, and it gets 2 more and it completes its octet to get -2 sulfide ion. To complete its octet, it stabilizes itself. And when we see calcium, calcium is losing 2 electrons to get the stability of the previous noble gas. So this is how you have to see 2.8.8 means all shells are completely filled. So first you write the electronic configuration of sulfur, then you write the electronic configuration of calcium, then you lose 2 electrons, add 2 electrons in the sulfur to make it sulfide, and you lose 2 electrons to get calcium ionized by +2. You will get your answer. Now we come on the theory section. What properties of aluminum make it useful for making aircrafts? This question is tabled from the chapter metals, where we learn that there are so many unique properties each metal has. So when we are interested in making some aircraft, we need to select a metal which must be light in weight. So the light weight of the aluminum makes it the best choice for making aircraft, because it is 3rd time lighter than the weight of the steel, and it is strong enough. It is high resistant to corrosion as well, so it is the best choice for making aircraft. The second question is why aluminum is selected to make electricity cables. You know, aluminum wire has a very larger cross-sectional area to pass the same amount of current as the copper wire can pass through. But it's lighter. So its lightweight and good conductivity supports a selector to select aluminum to make wire of it, because we have to hang the wire on very high to pass the high voltage power lines. So they're lighter mass and their good resistance towards corrosion and their good conductivity for electricity makes it a good choice. Then the question, this part is the wrong, you don't do it. Otherwise, we will talk about the reactivity series. It's the arrangement of all the metals according to their reactivity towards acids and towards the water. So I will explain you this topic in the coming video lesson. First, we see the formula of aluminum sulfate. How we can write the formula of aluminum sulfate? We are going to use crisscross formula, writing the symbol of aluminum. Then we are going to write the symbol of the sulfate. We know the ionic charge which is present of aluminum is +3 and sulfate radical has the valency or charge -2. And in the third step, we crisscross their charges and make them as the lower script. So the formula goes Al2SO4 thrice. How we can write it? I write it again for you. Aluminum 2 SO4 thrice. So the valency or the charge of the aluminum is written here and the charge of the sulfate is written here. Now the last part of this theory section is choose one of the following compounds to answer the questions below. Okay, we can use one compound more than once. So you see, the first is atmospheric pollutant, which is formed by lightning activity. It is none other than oxide of nitrogen, because nitrogen is present in very bulk quantity. It's 78% in the air. It's making up, it's basically defined as the solvent of the air because of its very high content. So when lightning happens, nitrogen is oxidized to make its oxides, and these oxides become the pollutant. Then is the main constituent of natural gas. You know, all of the organic compounds, major of the organic compounds are obtained and purified and separated from fossil fuels, and natural gas is one of the very important fossil fuel, which is very low cost. And methane is mostly, it is methane. Almost 94% of the natural gas is methane, the formula CH4. It is the most simple and smallest organic compound. What dissolves in water to form aqueous solution, which gives a white precipitate on addition of aqueous sodium sulfate. Okay, this is barium nitrate. You write an equation for it also, because you have to see the precipitates which are forming are white in color and these are dissolved in water. So you write the equation for it also. Like sodium sulfate is reacting with barium nitrate to give barium sulfate. Dash is a catalyst in the contact process for the manufacture of sulfuric acid. You know, when sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, the king of compounds, and all the industries are somewhere using this acid, many of the industries. And this H2SO4 is produced industrially, and this method is called as contact process, in which one of the step involves oxidation of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide, and the most suitable catalyst for this oxidation is vanadium pentoxide V2O5. Dash is a product of the thermal decomposition of limestone. Limestone is CaCO3. When limestone is heated, calcium oxide is produced and carbon dioxide is also given out. So which compound is produced after the thermal decomposition of limestone? It's none other than calcium oxide from the list. Class, I have explained you this worksheet with my full efforts, and the output should be the correct answers from your side. Just go through the questions and listen this video lesson again and again if you are coming to some trouble. So I'm always there to help you. Just watch this video, read the textbook and take the benefits of it. Thank you, class. God bless you and take care.